This we actually covered a lot. As I said, leaders are also followers. Leaders are learners. Leaders, they do model. One thing that about leadership is really important, to learn is because we can never learn everything about leadership just by reading it or going to school. We have to learn it by actually looking at some other examples, looking at some of the great leaders that we believe in, and see how they did it. What was some of the things that they've done? Learn from their mistakes, or learn from from how they did it, and to accelerate your success. Next one. Do you want to go to this? Okay. This is actually a book. There's a book called The Cash Flow Quadrant. It's by Robert Kiyosaki. Some of you probably heard about Poor Dad, Rich Dad. He's the same writer that wrote this book. This is definitely a must-read book that I'd recommend to all of you because, although here I can't really go to too much details about it, but I just want to give you the glimpse of it is, in any type of work that you're in, there's always going to be an employee, which is a person that have a job. Nothing wrong with that and nothing right with that. But that's what's going to be an employee. You get your paycheck, you work for somebody, and that's what it is. Then the next quadrant is basically being a business owner, where you own the next quadrant is actually being self-employed. You open up your own business, you have your own thing, you're still working, you're still all there, and there's a lot of, in the book, they go about taxes, they go about all these benefits about moving from quadrant to the other, and also all the other emotional benefits and financial and what you gain out of moving from place to place. The third category is being a business owner, where you own actually a system and people are working for you, and there's obviously a lot of benefits are attached with that, the growth, the potential, the financial independence. And then the fourth category, which is really investors. We hear probably about Bill Gates, we hear about Warren Buffett, we hear about all those guys that in a lot of cases they're not actually working now, they're just investing and they're moving almost companies just by by signature that they do. And that's the area where almost they say 95% of the wealth, financial wealth, is controlled by about 5%, and they're normally in that category between the business owners and the investors. Oh, that's it, everybody. I think we're just a bit over our time, but I do actually really welcome if there's any urgent questions. We're going to be here, for the next, session, so we're open for questions. I think our information should actually be already with the AAYSP. If you need to contact us, you need any help, you need any support, questions, recommendations, please feel free to reach out to us. We're available to you. Is there anything kind of burning? Otherwise, I think they're starting the next session. All right, well, thanks, everybody. Muhammad and I, we really do appreciate your attendance, and thanks for your attention. If you need anything, as I said, we're always open to hear you and respond back to you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much to Dr. Sahoba and Dr. Mazin Baisa for this presentation. Inshallah, we have now the last presentation by Mr. Habib Abbas, which is about safety in the cyberspace. Inshallah, after that, we will have the networking session in the lobby, and inshallah, the ceremony, scholarship ceremony and the gala will start at 7. So, inshallah, the network, after this session ends, the safety in the cyberspace, we will be going to the hotel's lobby and network, and then we have some companies and some individuals here to network with to get to know each other. And then at 7 o'clock, please be here by 7 o'clock. The room will be changed to have the dinner style. So inshallah, please go.
In cyberspace. Mr. Habib Abbas is an info officer for the federal government, and we're going to be in the Great Lakes Ballroom. So if everyone could please collect in the center room, and could Habib Abbas please step forward.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Doctor. I appreciate it. Yeah. All right. Oh, thank you. So let's go ahead and get started here. All right. Let's go. Before I get started, just a little bit about myself, for those who don't know me. My name is Habib Abbas. I'm currently an information assurance project manager for the federal government. I hold a master's degree in science in information assurance from the University of Detroit Mercy. And I worked as an IT team lead for the workstation team in the Dow Chemical Company for about 3.5 years. I served on the executive board for the Yemeni American Association, and I am a member of several societies, including Infraguard, AAYSP, and other honor societies. Okay, good, thank you. I also served in the advisory board at the UDM Leadership and Service Program. I participated in several leadership seminar and workshops, including the Dale Carnegie and Franklin Covey's Institute. I was one of 21 students in the U.S. that received the Federal Information Assurance Scholarship in the year of 2007. I also received the Medallion of Community Service from UDM, and I was also a recipient of the UDM Computer Information Systems Award. So that's just a little bit about myself. And going to the agenda for today, we're going to go over a quick introduction. I'll speak about the benefits of the internet, that's going to be brief, and then threats and risks of the internet, that's where we're going to be spending most of the time. Science of risk, parent responsibilities, what are you responsible for, and the actions you need to take, where to report. We're going to go into the conclusion, and just to get your attention, we're going to have a quiz at the end, so pay attention please, okay? And we're going to have, if we have time, we can go over a discussion. I was told we're very limited with the time, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to go through everything, but I'll try to do my best to cover as much as we could. So, introduction. Why I believe this topic is very important. We all know that children are the most valuable assets in our lives. If I ask anybody here, how many parents do we have, by the way? Here, can you raise your hand if you're a parent? Yeah, so we have so many here. Almost like 60–70%. If I ask any of you, I'm sure that what is, as far as people, who is, the most valuable asset, as far as people in your life, I'm sure, children would be, the answer. They hold the future, our hopes for a better future, and we also, care about them, and we need the best for them. And that's why I believe the focus of this workshop is very important, and that's why we need to be aware of this thing, to be able to protect them from risks of the cyberspace. The focus of the workshop is going to be understanding the risks behind the children online, understanding the actions we should take to protect the children from the online risks. I'm not going to be talking about how to hack into your child's computer. I'm not going to be talking about this lecture is not about pornography. I mean, there is some of it in here, but it's not all of that. There's going to be a lot of things that we're going to be discussing related to that. And what I'm going to be giving you is just food for thought. You're going to be the one who's going to be defining your strategy for what strategy you need to take to be able to protect your children from the risks and the threats of the internet. Some of the materials might be unsettling and avoidable. I'm going to try to avoid those just because of the time, not because I don't want you to see them. There are some videos, very interesting videos. I can post them later on the AAYSP website, but if we have time later, I might go over those, just something to put in mind. And the purpose of this workshop, some of the stuff here might be scary. And my goal here is not to scare you, not to make you panic, but rather to make you aware. Because awareness is the best and the most critical step we need to take to be able to, know what's going on in our children's lives, to be able to protect them and provide a better life for them. And that's the focus of this. So, and that's why I'm going over the benefits of the internet before I go to the dangers and the threats and the risks. Because if I start with the risk, everybody's going to think, okay, the next thing I'm going to do after I get out from here is, unplug the computer, from the internet, and not let my children go online again. But so there are a lot of benefits to the internet. There's the human communication element. There is the source of knowledge and cultural experience. we're living in a connected world. Like, we can connect to anyone, like, around us. I mean, some of us might be connected to people in Yemen, like, in a matter of seconds. Like, there are the emails, the chat rooms, all of that. Online self-education. I've been taking online classes. Children, like, today, like, who are not able to go full-time to school are, like, taking online classes at their, like, own time, like, after they finish work or, like, at their own convenience. There are a lot of ebooks that we can go today, and we don't have to purchase a hard copy. We can just go online and, like, and read online. There are a lot of productivity tools for that can help us be more productive. We can conduct research online, and there's the entertainment and fun about it. Like, all of those elements are some of the benefits of the internet. Now we come to the meat of this presentation, the threats and risks. Okay, and that's what we're going to be spending most of the time on. So, in spite of all the benefits, like, to the internet, like any other technology, cell phones, cars, just name it, like, any other technology, as much as they have benefits, the TV as well, the dish, the satellite, the cable, all of those has a lot of benefits, but at the same time, they come with their own risks and threats. And we need to be well aware of all those risks and threats to be able to fight them and stand and prevent them in the first place. And our children, when it comes to the cyberspace, our children pose, like, a unique risk just because of their unique characteristics. Innocence, curiosity, lack of knowledge, desire of independence, and most importantly is fear of punishment from the parents. They would tend to hide a lot of things from the parents because they're afraid of punishment. So I'll tell you a small story that happened to me, like, when I was in vacation in Yemen about a couple of years ago. I went to the internet cafe I was trying to send an email to my brother. And in the internet cafe, I saw a child. It was 8 o'clock p.m. A child, he looked so innocent, so polite. He came to me and he was like, I would like to use the internet. Can you show me how? I was like, I looked at him and smiled and he said, yes, yeah, I can show you. So he sat in the chair and told him first, you open the Internet Explorer, you go to the address bar, you type google.com, and then on the search bar, you type whatever term you're trying to search for, and there you go. See how easy it is? And he looked at me like I was tapping rocket science or something. So then he reached into his pocket and he handed me a piece of paper and he goes like, can you just take me to this website? And I looked at the paper and wow, okay, I'm not going to tell you what the name of the website is, but I was so, there were a lot of, different emotions that came to my mind at that time. 10 years, old boy, innocent, 8 o'clock p.m., what is he doing here? What is he trying to do, And so I asked him, who gave you this? He said, my friend. And I told him, whoever gave you this shouldn't be your friend, okay? That was an alarming, and that was in Yemen. Here in the U.S., the danger is even far more. Because every house, I believe, here in the U.S., almost every house has an internet. And there is a problem where, parents, give ultimate freedom to their children, whereas when they, have them connect to the internet in their own bedrooms and not monitor them or ask them or share with them what's going on in their own, internet life. So because your child is just playing a game or doing a homework online, it doesn't mean that he cannot expose to harm. And we're going to be seeing some scenarios, in some examples. And those, I'm going to move this and talk about some statistics here about kids in the U.S. 94% of teens aged 12 through 17 use the internet. 59% of online teens have an online profile that has a lot of information that, about them. 71% of the teens have cell phones, and more than 40% are texting. 43% of teens have been victims of cyber bullying. We're going to talk about that later, if you're not familiar with the term. Another statistic